The Orange Revolution, a fight for democracy in Ukraine. The Orange Revolution was a significant event in Ukraine's history, marking the country's struggle for democracy and political freedom. It was a series of protests and political events that took place in 2004 following a controversial presidential election. The revolution was primarily driven by widespread allegations of electoral fraud and the belief that the Ukrainian people's votes had been stolen. The revolution not only led to a new election but also shifted Ukraine's trajectory toward greater European integration and away from Russia's influence. 1. The 2004 presidential election. The roots of the Orange Revolution lay in the presidential election of November 2004, where the two main candidates were Viktor Yanukovych, who was supported by the outgoing pro-Russian President Leonid Kuchma, and Viktor Yushchenko, a pro-Western candidate advocating for democratic reforms and closer ties with Europe. When Yanukovych was declared the winner, many Ukrainians believed the election had been rigged, with reports of voter intimidation, ballot stuffing, and vote falsification. The outcome was immediately contested by the opposition, and thousands of Ukrainians took to the streets in peaceful protest, demanding a fair election. 2. The rise of mass protests. The protests began in Kyiv's Independence Square, Maidan Nezalezhnosti, and quickly spread across the country. The protesters, who wore orange, the color of Yushchenko's campaign, were a mix of young people, students, civil society activists, and ordinary citizens who were frustrated with corruption and the undemocratic nature of the election process. Their demands were clear: a new, free, and fair election. The protests lasted for weeks and were marked by mass rallies, speeches, and an unyielding determination to resist government pressure. The movement also received significant support from Western nations and organizations that championed free and fair elections. 3. The victory of the Orange Revolution. After weeks of protests, the Ukrainian Supreme Court ruled in December 2004 that the election was invalid due to widespread fraud and ordered a rerun of the presidential election. The new vote, held in January 2005, saw Yushchenko win with a clear majority. This victory was seen as a triumph for the people of Ukraine and a significant moment in the country's fight for democracy. 4. Impact and legacy. The Orange Revolution was a major turning point for Ukraine, symbolizing a desire for political change and reform. Although Yushchenko's presidency faced challenges, including internal divisions and struggles with oligarchs, the revolution sent a powerful message about the Ukrainian people's commitment to democracy and independence from Russian influence. The legacy of the Orange Revolution also influenced future events in Ukraine, including the Euromaidan Revolution of 2013 to 2014, which was similarly motivated by a desire for political reform and European integration. The Orange Revolution remains a defining moment in Ukraine's modern history, illustrating the power of popular protest against corruption and electoral fraud. It was a struggle that resonated not only in Ukraine but also across the post-Soviet space, showing that ordinary citizens could stand up for democratic principles and bring about change.